What's going on, Conscious Crew? Welcome to another riveting episode of the Consciouztv platform. You already know who it is, honey. It's your favorite commentator, Consciouztv. Happy. Is it Monday or Tuesday? Is it Monday? Is this a Monday? It's a Monday, child. Let me tell you something. I believe in a time capsule, honey, in eternity. Happy motherfucking Monday. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I had a very wonderful weekend, my darn self, okay? And we're here to get into the motherfucking mess because it is a lot going on. Before we get into it, you guys already know what I need you all to do, which is thumbs up until it's absolutely stuck. Please hit that like button. YouTube is doing the most, shadow banning the platform, etc., girl. So we need everybody to give us a whole thumbs up. It don't cost you nothing, okay? So stop what you're doing and make sure that you hit the like on the live stream, whether you are part of the replay gang, whether you are active with me in real time, or whether you are a bush baby, smash that like button. If you also love everything that the king does here, you can always donate to the platform, Cash App, $Consciouztv, and or PayPal.me/Consciouztv. All donation information and social media handles are in the description box below. Also, make sure that you guys have your notification bell set to all so that you never miss a day or hour when the king is in fact king. And then last but not least, please share the stream out to whatever it is you have digital community, whether that be a YouTube community wall, your Snapchat, your MySpace, dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't really give a damn where you in fact lay the light. Just let them whores know that we're loud, we're live, and we're certainly in color. And with no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on, Conscious Crew? Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. Please give me a nasty piece of like on the video. Let me speak to the Conscious Crew before we get started. What's going on? Happy Monday, Tamika. Happy Monday, Judge Shady Court. Hey, boo. What's going on, Lady T? Hey, Teresa. What's going on, Kimani's Way? What's going on, Aquarius 216? Hey, Island Girl. What's going on, Matthews? Hey, Joshua. Hey, y'all. What's going on, Tammy? Hey, Lauren. What's going on? Hey, everybody. The hair is giving ruby red vibes. You guys will, let me see. I actually saw this hairstyle. It was like a variation of this hairstyle on an AI model who was promoting like this wine colored wig. And it reminded me of how much I love wine-colored hair. Wine-colored hair is such a beautiful autumn color. It's a great summer color, great fall color. So, you know, I had to make it do what I do. If I find the reference, I will post it on the community wall. But thank you guys so much. We have quite a bit to get into. I'm going to try to keep this video under an hour. I've been doing so good on my live streams generally with time. Okay, we've been doing real good, girl, because y'all know, girl, I can go for hours and hours and hours and hours. But I like the way that 55-minute to an hour mark feels. Okay, we may sometimes go a little bit over depending on, you know, the subject matter, because, you know, some things have a lot of moving parts in them. What's going on, Intersex? What's going on, Perry? Hey, Chef. What's going on, Easy Breezy? Hey, everybody. Hi, y'all. It's like, you know who? Seeing Chef, I totally forgot to put my girl, Megan Thee Stallion, on the docket. I'm about to come back and do a separate live stream. Megan got a lot going on, girl. It's a lot going on in the Megan Thee Stallion, Sloppy Radio, Case Girl, Those of you who want the minute-by-minute play-by-play, please subscribe to Documenting's platform, who is now on YouTube, you guys. He is giving the rundown of the rundown. At some point, I'm going to probably have Documenting's over here. I did get your email, Chef. So, you know, maybe he can catch us up and give us the cliff notes, girl, because a bitch been checked out for a minute, but there are so many moving parts. Everybody's getting subpoenaed, child, from DJ Academics to this Aiden Ross live streaming. It's a mess, honey. It's getting really, 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 really intense. But we're here to get into some intense news going on with other individuals. What's going on, Corinthia? And y'all, I am half blind. My contacts are so dry. I tried to douse them before I got up here, girl, but I feel like I'm looking through a damn fish aquarium. Pray for me. Tyler Perry. Are we doing Tyler Perry first and foremost? Oh, yes, we're doing Tyler Perry first and foremost, girl. Tyler Miss Perry done got her ass officially served, girl. You guys know that Oval actor Derek Dixon sued Tyler Perry a month or two ago for $250 million freaking dollars in a civil lawsuit claiming everything from sexual assault, sexual harassment, to workplace violence, discrimination, etc. I mean, Derek Dixon's lawsuit has it going on. Derek Dixon also presented a plethora of text messages to legitimize some of his claims. The text messages, as you guys have seen here on the platform exclusively already, aren't really that condemning, but at the very least, the text messages definitely establish that Tyler Perry had some unique affections toward Dixon. I think it's safe to say that the text messages, at the very least, definitely prove that Tyler Perry has some type of a affinity toward the same sex. And those text messages also revealed that Derek Dixon received a pay raise that he ultimately wasn't even deserving of. And Tyler Perry communicated in those text messages that he did not want Derek Dixon to share that news with anybody else, okay? Because they have a very special relationship, and he didn't want the rest of the Oval cast to know that he was showing Derek Dixon some favoritism. Now, Derek Dixon's claim and context for why he received the raise is because Tyler Perry was attempting to pretty much pay him to be compliant, to be submissive, to acquiesce, and to ultimately keep his mouth closed about all of these very physical attempts to get in his draws. Derek Dixon's lawsuit is explosive. It details how Tyler Perry tried to take advantage of him a few times when he was at Tyler Perry's estate in the guest bedroom. We've heard a lot about this guest bedroom because you guys also know Christian Keys, who did not name Tyler Perry verbatim, but gave us enough context clues and Easter eggs to identify the billionaire director, big personality with a unique voice that anybody would recognize who has working ears. Also spoke about the way that he was taken advantage of and apparently drugged and sexually assaulted in that guest bedroom, girl. So the Tyler Perry estates allegedly it's giving Candy Burris dungeon, dragon, rough, okay? Derek Dixon also alleges that he was choked and slammed up against a trailer wall while working on set with Tyler Perry, and Tyler Perry reached into his drawers and groped him. I mean, girl, it is a whole lot going on. He ultimately also says that he was wrongfully terminated. Tyler Perry didn't keep his word in terms of how they would exit him from the show, because at some point Derek Dixon claims that he just could not take this anymore. He also reported Tyler Perry, I forgot the name of the specific board, but he reported this alleged sexual assault, but apparently nothing has came out of the investigation, and now we are here with 250 million big ones. All right, now remember a few months ago I told you guys that Tyler Perry had not been served, though. Well, now Tyler Perry has officially been served. Tyler Perry and Tyler Perry Studios Inc., etc. have now officially been sued. Tyler Perry will now have to effectively respond to this lawsuit. Yes, the EEOC, thank you so much, Chef. The EEOC is who Derek Dixon reported the alleged sexual harassment to. Okay, now we had Todd, our handy dandy residential child. Todd is everything, girl. He's our professional. He's our caseworker, honey. He's our social worker, child. He came up here and he explained the protocol of the EEOC and broke down why Derek Dixon may not have received a response back from them, or why ultimately the EEOC didn't do anything, and that possibly could have been because of a lack of evidence. Okay. Now Derek Dixon, upon serving Tyler Perry, officially also has sat down with ABC News and given what ABC News is alleging an explosive interview. So Derek Dixon is now on his press run, and all of the blogs are now reporting and showing snippets of this interview, girl. Tyler Perry is back in the news for all the wrong reasons, and we got to really talk about it. So let's get into ABC News, who debuted their interview tonight. I don't know if this is the entire interview. I have not even listened to a single snippet. I'm sure that what he said in the interview is not really much different from what he has listed in the lawsuit, but let's see what ABC had to give, child. Okay, and this is fair motherfucking use. You guys, please run the likes up, run the likes up, run the likes up. YouTube is doing the most, so we need all of the likes, child. All right, let's check out ABC News. And once the audio begins to play, please give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear it, okay?
Now to our ABC News exclusive. Tyler Perry accuser Derek Dixon sits down in a TV interview for the first time, sharing allegations of workplace sexual assault and harassment. In June, he filed a $260 million lawsuit against the media mogul. User claims that Tyler Perry denies, but Dixon says he's speaking out now to try to stop a billionaire who won't stop themselves. What made you decide to come forward with your story?
I wanted to speak out and not stay silent about it anymore.
Actor Derek Dixon sitting down for his first television interview since filing a $260 million lawsuit against media mogul Tyler Perry, detailing the alleged sexual harassment and assaults he says he endured.
That's when he pushed me up against the wall and grabbed my ass again.
Dixon starred as Dale in Tyler Perry's BET series, The Oval.
Why are you yelling? I'm in this too, remember?
You're not in it. Did you get shot at?
No, I actually got shot.
He appeared in 85 episodes between 2021 and 2025. Tell us about the first time you ever met Tyler Perry.
Yeah, I met him at his studio opening party in 2019. I was working for an events company, and we met, and he said to me, are you an actor? And I said, well, not right now. I'm working on it, but not right now. And he said, yeah, you are. We need to talk. You should get my number and we'll talk about this.
Did any of your initial interactions give you?
A few of them were, did give me pause, but they weren't bad enough to think like this was a dangerous situation in the beginning. Yeah.
According to your lawsuit, at one point early on, he bought you a car.
Yeah, he'd seen my Jeep around the studio that I was driving, and he said, that's not a great car.
Tyler Perry is an actor, producer, director, playwright, and prominent name in the entertainment space. He launched his career in the 1990s.
You want this half? You want this half?
His 2005 breakthrough film, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, debuted at #1 in the box office and was a massive success. To date, he's created 24 feature films, 20 stage plays, 17 television shows, and 2 New York Times best-selling books. In 2021, his prolific career earned him a spot in the exclusive Billionaires Club. His media empire includes his own production company, Tyler Perry Studios, based in Atlanta, one of the largest film studios in the country.
I'm not trying to do anything other than meet somebody at their humanity.
As his career has flourished, he's also made a name for himself in the philanthropic space. So in early 2020, you land the role of Dale on The Oval
Was that a dream job?
It was, yeah, it was. To be a series regular on a show was something I always dreamed about.
The complaint includes multiple screenshots of text messages allegedly between Dixon and Perry.
Picture where he's on the jet ski. Well, I said, nice picture. And he said, but yeah, the water looks calm. And he said, nice picture. You don't see that stud in that picture? Rude. And I said, LOL, yes, that's a stud. And all these texts, I tried to de-escalate them and make a joke out of them.
Some of the messages more sexual in nature.
One of them says, what's it going to take for you to have guiltless sex? Have y'all found that in therapy yet? I would hope that you would let someone hold you and make love to you.
Now, the complaint also alleges that in January of 2020, there was an escalation from the text messages to Tyler Perry's behavior becoming physical.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain that first alleged incident?
Yes, we were over at his house. We're having some drinks in his guest house, and it was late at night, and he has a guest quarters, and said that you can sleep there instead of not driving. And his house is far from Atlanta and where I was living. And I got into bed, and then I noticed that he climbed into bed with me as well, and started rubbing my leg. And I jumped up out of bed, and he has said, turn around so I can look at you, and just commented on how I looked. And then he got up and left. So I thought after that instance, it was pretty clear that I was not interested in that type of a relationship. It was very, very strange. I mean, I think it's okay that people try to make a move or shoot their shot, but if they get rejected, I think that they should stop. And so I thought it would stop after that, and it didn't.
At the end of the second season, Dale gets shot in the chest 4 times. Why was that especially concerning for you?
What it meant to me was if I don't make him happy, I could stay dead on the show.
And the complaint specifically says, and I just want to quote it, Mr. Perry made it clear to Mr. Dixon that he would kill off Mr. Dixon's character if he did not indulge Mr. Perry's sexual harassment. Was that message clear to you?
For me, that was his way of showing his power over us and our careers, and that he doesn't have a problem with just killing one of us off.
You're also a screenwriter and had written a TV series called Losing It. Tell us about that.
He ended up wanting to read it, and I at first was like too embarrassed to even send to him, but he did, and he said he loved it and wanted to shoot the pilot for it.
All right, let's go to June of 2021, another alleged incident that you outline in your lawsuit where you're again at Tyler Perry's home in Atlanta, and it ends up with you locking yourself in a bathroom.
Mm-hmm. We started out having drinks in the living room like we, have done before. And it got to a point in the night where, we were both kind of feeling drunk. And I remember we were walking back to the guest area where I've stayed before. And there was this health monitor scale on the way. And I was like, what is that? And he said, well, you have to be in your underwear to measure, whatever. So you should do it. He reached down and pulled my underwear down and grabbed my ass, and I, tried to stop him and pull back my underwear up, and he kind of grabbed my arms and said, no, it's okay. Just go with it. And I said, stop. I don't want to be naked. I don't want this. And he was just like, no, I'm not going to hurt you. And just continued. And in that moment, unless someone's been through something where they have their control over their bodies taken away, you don't really understand the kind of feelings that you get in that moment. It was almost like every thought came through my head: to run, to fight, to freeze. I didn't know what to do.
He says he de-escalated and distracted Perry and eventually locked himself alone in the guest house bathroom.
The day after that, he called several times, and I ended up getting afraid of what was going on the other side. So I picked up, and that's when he said, he was sorry for what happened. He doesn't know why he did that, and that maybe he was self-sabotaging or something. And in the same call, he said, and don't worry, we're going to do your show.
In the lawsuit, you describe this as a calculated pursuit of you by Tyler Perry. There are also several times where he says to you, you have to make your no stronger. Mm-hmm. How did you respond to this, as it's described, calculated pursuit of you by Tyler Perry?
To me, that's just so insulting. And I reiterated, you know, I said stop. You know, I said it. I don't think that people ever get past something like that happening to them.
Dixon tells us he last spoke to Perry in the spring of 2024 and left the show in September of that year.
What ultimately became of your pilot losing it?
Yeah, it hasn't gone anywhere. He still owns the rights to it. So I can't now go and sell it.
Then in January, the actor filed a complaint with the EEOC, the federal agency responsible for protecting workers from discrimination.
In your response to your EEOC complaint, Tyler's representatives said, among other things, Mr. Dixon's initial letter to TPS Tyler Perry Studios about its matter demanded $42.5 million to buy his silence. They described your actions as extortion.
Mm-hmm.
Were you looking for money to buy your silence?
No, I think I was looking for accountability on to what he did. I think what he did was wrong, and
Okay, hold on.
It needed to be something that would deter him from doing.
Did I hear that correctly? Hold on.
Up. And that's when he said, you know, he was sorry for what happened. He doesn't know why he did that, and that maybe he was self-sabotaging or something. And in the same call, he said, and don't worry, we're going to do your show.
In the lawsuit, you describe this as a calculated pursuit of you by Tyler Perry. There are also several times where he says to you, you have to make your no stronger. Mm-hmm. How did you respond to this, as it's described, calculated pursuit of you by Tyler Perry?
To me, that's just so insulting. And I reiterated, you know, I said stop. You know, I said it. I don't think that people ever get past something like that happening to them.
Dixon tells us he last spoke to Perry in the spring of 2024 and left the show in September of that year.
What ultimately became of your pilot losing it?
Yeah, it hasn't gone anywhere. He still owns the rights to it. So I can't now go and sell it.
Then in January, the actor filed a complaint with the EEOC, the federal agency responsible for protecting workers from discrimination.
In your response to your EEOC complaint, Tyler's representatives said, among other things, Mr. Dixon's initial letter to TPS Tyler Perry Studios about its matter demanded $42.5 million to buy his silence. They described your actions as extortion. Mm-hmm. Were you looking for money to buy your silence?
No, I think I was looking for accountability on to what he did. I think what he did was wrong, and it needed to be something that would deter him from doing this to somebody else, another actor, or in the future.
What kind of a toll would you say that this is all taken on you?
I was extremely anxious. The calls got to a point where the calls and texts were almost every day. Just this constant state of like, if I don't answer, I will lose my job. I'll be fired or killed off the show. I mean, it took a huge toll on my anxiety and depression.
You're asking in your lawsuit for damages totaling $260 million. How did you arrive at that number?
Part of that number is my lost job, my lost income, the loss of the show. The other part of that is a deterrent for, you know, how do you stop a billionaire who won't stop themselves from doing this?
How difficult has it been to tell your truth?
It's been hard. It's been hard. It's a vulnerable thing to talk about, I think, for anybody. There's a lot of shame, I think, around it. And just trying to think what you could have done better and having to deal with the judgment of what, you know, everyone might think of how you could have handled it better without being in that situation.
Perry has not yet responded in court filings. In a statement to ABC News, his lawyer called Dixon a, quote, individual who got close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam, and that Tyler will not be shaken down, and we are confident these fabricated claims of harassment will fail.
If you were to talk to Tyler Perry right now, what would you say?
I would say, I hope that you take accountability for what happened. And I hope that this has taught you not to treat your employees this way and to never use someone's dream to coerce them into a relationship that's not professional.
What would justice look like for you?
Justice would look like thinking that I've made a change and that something like this won't happen to another actor that works for him or another actor in the industry. That would be justice for me.
Our thanks to Derek Dixon for the conversation. Coming up, a popular American automaker recalls 1.5 million cars, the urgent consumer alert you need to know about. And today, Apple announces brand new iPhones, including the thinnest one ever.
All right, Apple. Baby. Had to get those contacts out. I can't take it. We got some interesting things here, right? The conscious crew is asking, do I believe him? Okay, before we get to that, let's say that there are some, once again, there are some eerily similar allegations here. A lot of Derek Dixon's experience sounds very similar to Christian Key's experience. Christian Key's also received a car as a sweetener, you know, given honey jar spells. He received the vehicle. There was an investigation done to prove that the vehicle was in fact purchased for Christian Key's, etc. So this whole Tyler Perry giving vehicles out seems to be a running theme. Once again, Christian Key's also reportedly being essayed in this billionaire's home after he was invited over. He had been given drinks. He began to feel a little inebriated, and this billionaire welcomed him to stay at his guest in one of his guest bedrooms. And Christian Keith reportedly woke up to being assaulted the way that Dixon apparently was assaulted in the same guest bedroom. If, of course, this is the same person, and based upon the Easter eggs, we believe so, right? Also, Christian Keith reported, you know, that promises were made to him, etc. Matter of fact, you know, seemingly his show was picked up. And Derek Dixon has similar claims that, you know, he was given raises, he was given vehicles, a show idea that he pitched to Tyler Perry was supposed to come to fruition that never did, even though Tyler Perry still owns the rights. What's interesting about Tyler Perry still owning the rights to Derek Dixon's intellectual property under the proposed idea that he would produce and direct the show is that Tyler Perry has been sued multiple times by another creator who was claiming that Tyler Perry and Christian Keys both ran off with his original script idea for All the Queen's Men. You know, then we have this other individual who just came forward and accused the VP of Tyler Perry Studios of SA and being drugged and giving him herpes, girl. It's nasty work. Now, here's the thing. Either Tyler Perry has a pathology to his behavior like a lot of predators do. They have a profile, they're predictable, they pretty much run the same plays. This is how most scammers have a pathology, most abusers have a pathology, you know, or Derek Dixon has creatively extracted certain things from Christian Key's allegations and brought those same variables into his own claims against Tyler Perry, which in fact may be false. Now, either this is true or this is not true. Do I personally believe that Dixon was pursued by Tyler Perry? I do believe Dixon. I can see Tyler Perry trying to buy up that pale pussy. You know, that's a good looking pale American right there. You know, I could definitely see Tyler Perry, girl, buying up the bus. Okay. But here is the thing. A lot of y'all are also clocking Derek Dixon as well, saying that he's insincere. Something seems off. And what seems off to y'all probably is the fact that two things are true at the same time in this case, probably. Tyler Perry was more than likely pursuing this man relentlessly, etc. These wouldn't be, once again, you know, this wouldn't be the first person accusing Tyler Perry of this. Christian Keys, there's been other actors. We've done a deep dive on this. Look at my channel. You know, we done brought and put addresses on the names of men who have allegedly been pursued by Tyler Perry and allegedly sexually assaulted by Tyler Perry, etc. But Derek Dixon's text messages revealed something very incriminating about himself. Remember that part in the text messages where Tyler Perry was like getting his flirt on and Derek Dixon was like, now mind you, this is what was so incriminating about it, is that at this point, Derek Dixon had already been touched. Tyler Perry had already been pursuing him while he's claiming he didn't want this type of attention from Tyler Perry, etc. But he turned around and told the same man that he's now calling an abuser and a perpetrator and someone who, you know, harassed him and assaulted him. He turned around and told that same man in text messages that for like an Emmy or an Oscar, he would practically lay it low and spread it the wide. Now, at the time that we were reading these text messages, I told you guys, I said, well, what kind of person would tell someone who is already using their proxy and using their power to extract sex from them that they would be willing to give in to some unusual things if the price was a little higher, if the stakes and the gain was a little bit higher. Now, y'all know pale people, girl. This is the difference between melanated folk and pale folk. Melanated folk, we'll take 50,000 and some Hennessy, girl, and go on about our way, honey. Okay, we want just enough to be all right. Pale people gonna always have the audacity to go for the highest motherfucking bid, baby. The highest alternative, the highest available blessing there is, the highest game, girl. Okay? Pale people, girl, gonna shoot for the stars when it comes to their demands and their asking. Derek Dixon asked, he put a price on that pussy. So what that let me know when I saw some of Derek's responses to his alleged perpetrator, and he's communicating, you know, what it would take for him to compromise himself, I'm like, oh, okay. It wasn't given that Derek is lying, but it definitely was given that Derek is an opportunist and he wasn't sincerely and genuinely attracted to Tyler Perry, so he wasn't impressed enough to throw him that ass, despite getting a car, despite getting a raise, because he was already getting those things with Tyler Perry just having the privilege of smelling Derek's pass-by air. So if I was Derek too, I wouldn't have felt the need to press the gas if you just having proxy to me is already causing you to give up all your coin and bless me with cars and bless me with raises and keep me around for the show. Derek already had a good thing going. But Tyler wanted something allegedly, and according to Dixon, something very specific. He wanted to know what the inside of the hole felt like. And even though Derek wasn't interested in hooking up with Tyler Perry and acquiescing because he too is an opportunist, he considered some things. Now, Tyler Perry didn't seem to be interested in putting Derek in a position to get a goddamn Emmy and an Oscar, so that never really fucking happened. Tyler Perry essentially responded to Derek Dixon at that point in the text messages by being like, girl, you know, I'm sure somebody would do that for you, girl. It just ain't gonna be me, bitch. Okay? So, I think in this case, two things can be true at once. Tyler Perry was probably a thirst bucket and doing the most and, you know, trying to weigh his options with Derek. And Derek probably genuinely was not interested in Tyler Perry But, you know, was trying to go along to get along and get along to go along. I mean, most people are not going to walk away from their boss if their boss are putting them in some pretty unique positions. Here it is. He had an opportunity to be a star, to work on a successful show. Here it is. His boss seemingly has affections for him and buying him cars, giving him raises. So, you know, these were sweetheart deals, you know, not a bad price to pay for alleged sexual harassment, right? But we're here now, and Derek is seemingly wanting accountability. Now, let's talk about accountability. What's funny to me about accountability, because remember, I was asking earlier on, did Tyler Perry ever receive a demand letter? I wanted to know if Tyler Perry knew this was coming, if he had an opportunity to settle this out of court, or whether Derek Dixon had just pulled all of this out of his ass immediately and just spouted, and that's when Tyler Perry became aware. Because if Tyler Perry had an opportunity to settle out of court, I was asking, this is interesting, because if Tyler Perry did not acquiesce when he had the opportunity to keep this out of court, then it must mean that Tyler Perry believes in his ability to survive this lawsuit and to ultimately come out the winner in this litigation, whether that means he eventually settles or he's going for an entire acquittal if they go to trial. Derek Dixon, through this interview, just confirmed that there was some out-of-court attempts to settle this matter. Initially, he was demanding $42.5. Who demands $42.5 million? I have 42.5. 42.5. What kind of number is that? But $42.5 million, girl. Okay. And when the interviewer said, girl, well, you know, Tyler Perry lawyers are calling this extortion, he's like, no, this isn't extortion. I wanted accountability. I wanted to make sure that Tyler Perry couldn't do this to another actor. Got to call cap on that too, Derek Dixon. This isn't about accountability. Nobody who's willing to settle discreetly and privately with someone they're labeling a perpetual abuser is going to be interested in being paid for their silence, which is what you were willing to do, like Tyler Perry's attorneys said. You were sending demand letters. This would have resulted in a non-disclosure agreement had you and Tyler Perry settled on a number, and you would have been willing to go away, take your millions, and live your life, and we would have never really heard of this thing ever. But since that initial plan folded because Tyler Perry didn't go for it, now you have to come forward. Now you're in the public square. Now you have to claim that you're doing all of this for the victims, etc. But I'm also trying to figure out, too, if you wanted a monetary gain, how does that exactly satisfy your agenda to stop Tyler Perry from doing this to other men in the industry? Tyler Perry paying you does not stop him from sexually harassing or sexually assaulting anybody. I'm just trying to understand like the logic, because Derek is saying justice and accountability is what he wants. And he wants Tyler Perry to not do this to other men. How does a civil lawsuit stop Tyler Perry from doing this to other men? And remember, Christian Keys also had promised that he was going to run to the police, and he had secret recordings and all this kind of shit, and he wanted to stop this billionaire from traumatizing other men in the industry the way that he had been traumatized through having to deal with this individual. And, you know, he was going to put his beer down and just head on down there on foot to the local PD girl and give it all up and take this billionaire to task. And then the next day there was silence in the land, and people were saying that the check had been cut. So these people who want all this justice, they want this behavior to stop. Why not file a criminal suit? Why have even put Tyler Perry in a position to have settled out of court instead of putting him on blast from the jump if you wanted justice and accountability? Why were you willing to mediate outside of court and resolve this thing without all the spotlight if you are somebody who wants to stop injury from taking place? So it's just not giving what it needs to give. And it's also okay for Derek Dixon to be completely honest and say, bitch, justice for me looks like paying me for my pain. What I don't understand is why everybody has to perform. All this performative, I want to stop the dealing. I don't want this to happen to anybody, but they're all interested in NDAs and settlements and non-disclosure agreements, etc. You're the victim, allegedly. We can't tell a victim what justice looks like for them. If for some of them that's a payout, then it's a motherfucking payout. I mean, it is what it is. But that narrative is always contradicted when you find out the details. Like, yeah, demand letters were sent. Yes, we were going to settle this matter outside of court. Well, what was going to happen to all of the goddamn justice of it all? What was going to happen? It's all about the bag, like Auntie Trisha, and that's okay. That's okay. Why it's not okay for them to say, I don't know. Why they can't own that, I don't know. Now, there is a case management hearing set for October the 15th in this lawsuit. I have been on pins and needles waiting for Tyler Perry to officially respond to the suit because I want to know what his response is going to be to these claims. What is he going to say about these text messages? How is he going to defend himself? What is Tyler Perry's side of the story? It's going to be very fascinating. So it's looking like now we're going to get an official response unless Tyler Perry pulls a Shannon Sharp, doesn't respond to the lawsuit, and just petitions the court to settle the matter. And then we never get Tyler Perry's side. We never get his defense, just like we never got Shannon Sharp's. Because Shannon Sharp didn't respond to his lawsuit formally either. They let the window to respond expire, but then come to find out the whole time he was privately litigating with Little Miss OF, and they had reached a settlement agreement. And then, of course, was like, oh, okay, well, we'll close the case out. Is Tyler Perry going to pull a fast one? Which wouldn't make sense to me, because if Derek Dixon already tried to settle with you prior to filing his suit officially, what was the point of letting him do all this only to settle later when you could have settled from the jump? Unless he thought Dixon was bluffing. And sometimes these motherfuckers do. Sometimes people do underestimate the kind of motherfuckers, like Dwayne Youngblood did to TD Jakes. TD Jakes, Dwayne Youngblood sent that $6 million goddamn demand letter to Jakes, and Jake said, fuck you, and turned around and sued his accuser instead, girl. And now he's tearing his ass up in court. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. For all we know, girl, now that this interview done happened, Tyler Perry asked, and Dixon already may have their lawyers on the phone figuring out settlements, etc. We still may not hear formally from Tyler Perry. If now this has gotten Tyler Perry off his ass, or we are going to hear from Tyler Perry, and Tyler Perry is going to fight this way through. He's going to have his work cut out for him because he's going to have to address the sexuality part of this alone. We know that Tyler Perry presents as a heterosexual man. So beyond just the SA claims, there are claims here that he is same-gender loving, and these text messages seemingly kind of provide some circumstantial evidence to support that claim. So if he takes this lawsuit on, it almost seems as if he's going to have to come out the closet for one. It's going to be very hard for Tyler Perry to just walk around that mulberry bush and try to avoid that elephant in the room while defending himself. But Tyler Perry seemingly is arrogant enough to probably try to do that, which is going to be odd and weird. Because if the case, goes further and further and further, girl, there's going to be discovery. God only knows who Derek Dixon has in his back pocket, girl. Is he going to have other individuals who have had similar alleged experiences with Tyler Perry as witnesses? Is he going to have affidavits and witness statements from Christian Keys and other people? We don't really motherfucking know. Is this going to turn into an entire circus? Because we also see what happens when high-profile individuals get sued for these type of things. It typically causes for other accusers to come forward and dog pile on. So is Derek Dixon the only motherfucker that Tyler Perry has to worry about? We don't know. I do know this, bitch. If Derek Dixon is successful either in a post-settlement with Tyler Perry, or he wins this civil suit against Tyler Perry, baby, motherfuckers are definitely coming out of the woodworks. Now, whether they're coming out of the woodworks and filing against Tyler Perry for something that really happened, we don't know. But girl, the Cassie effect is going to take place. So I think either way, Tyler Perry might have effed himself by not settling this matter out of court when he had the opportunity to do so, when Derek Dixon was only asking for $42.5 million. Now he's asking for $260 million. Because if he settles, yeah, baby, things are going to crank all the way up, and more individuals may try to jump on who either have a genuine case against Tyler Perry or just going in for the grift of it all. This is a mess. It's a mess. Now, I also want to say this. And y'all thumbs up the video, girl. We're working tonight, okay? Tyler Perry, you know, I know nobody's perfect and there's no, you know, model citizen. Everybody got some shit that come with them. But my God, today, it is so interesting that this man didn't want to pay Monique for her pain. Then turned around recently on a podcast with Kurt Franklin and other men and talked about how he fired his family because they were lazy and didn't want to work and blah, 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 and he took them off payroll. While he's also okay with throwing money literally down the assholes of men that he's attracted to, allegedly. Here it is. He gave this pale man, who seemingly he only wanted for sex, a raise, bought him a car, the whole nine. Things he technically was not qualified for, but that Tyler Perry was just doing out of having affections toward him. But Tyler Perry took his entire family off of fucking payroll. Took him on payroll. Probably the same relatives that back in the day helped him to pay his light bill, his water bill, etc. They might be lazy now and might not expect to have to put in that work because he got it, girl. But it's just so interesting that he don't want to pay Monique. He don't want to pay his own relatives despite him calling them lazy. But he's not even seemingly doing the most ethical things with his own coin himself if this is what he's doing with his money. Now, the interesting thing about karma is because Tyler Perry stole Medea from a queer drag performer by the name of Miss Sophia, stole this character, turned it into a billion-dollar brand, also put his foot on Monique's neck and worked with two other members of the Black Boule, Lee Daniels and Oprah Winfrey, to suppress and challenge Monique out of her spot, has acted like he's righteous enough to judge his own family while he's out here trying to buy bussy. Tyler Perry underestimating Derek Dixon's demand letter actually might be working in favor of some karmic debt that Tyler Perry is long overdue to pay because he hasn't operated well in his own humanity. Now, this doesn't take away the things that Tyler Perry has done for female actors. We know he's paid Taraji P. Henson her first $1 million, and he's paid other Black female actresses high wages, etc., giving them their roses. We know he's a philanthropist and a humanitarian. So sure, all those great things. But there's also not so right things amidst those positive things. And I always tell you guys, God is of no respect of persons. God don't give a fuck. The spiritual laws don't give a fuck about who you think you is. They don't give a damn about how high you sit in the land. That's why Donald Trump ass got popped upside the head. Shout out to Thomas Matthews Crooks. Baby, those spiritual laws don't give a damn. They are of no respect to no grow. Baby, those spiritual laws, once you start sowing bad into the land, once you start sowing bad into people's lives, those spiritual laws will fuck up your marriage, fuck up your kids, fuck up your health. Baby, those spiritual laws will come for your neck. Okay? Baby, spiritual laws, baby, there's nothing that can keep the spiritual laws from stumping you out. Because every man and every woman got to reap that which they motherfucking sow. So Tyler Perry underestimating Derek Dixon, who gave him the opportunity to settle out of court with him for $42.5 million, calling that pale man's bluff, might be working against Tyler Perry. And as far as we know it, this could really be the beginning of some extraordinary events for Tyler Perry. The things that could come out in this civil suit, if it goes to trial and is pursued, the domino effect that this civil suit could have, the things that this civil suit alone forces Tyler Perry to have to navigate around his sexuality and his sexual conduct, girl. I mean, this could really be a whole entire motherfucking mess. And whether it opens up a can of worms, girl, well, we're going to see. We're going to see, girl. Last but not least, before we move on to the next topic, what I also will say is that it seems that race is going to be a major factor in why generally the Black community is going to still support Tyler Perry, because I've been reading the comment sections, and apparently lots of Black people are prepared to not cancel Tyler Perry over Derek Dixon's lawsuit. So I'm going to then assume that even if Tyler Perry settles out of court, or even if Derek Dixon wins his civil suit, that the Black community doesn't plan on pulling out solely, it seems, because Derek Dixon is white. That's playing a major role in the race loyalty here. So Tyler may not lose that demographic, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens with his European consumers and demographic. Fascinating shit, you guys. So we're going to keep up with this litigation once again. October 15th, there's a case management hearing. Tyler Perry has officially been served. He now has a 30 to 90-day window to respond to this lawsuit formally, and we're definitely going to read his response line by line. I am very interested to see what Tyler Perry has to say for himself as it relates to these allegations, girl. Hardcore shit. All right. You guys tell me what you guys think in the comment section after this live stream. Moving along. Bloop, bloop. All right. Who is next up on the docket? Hold on. I can't just pull all this shit up at one time. Do I gotta do it one by one? Hold on. Let me see if I can pull up the whole window. I can't pull up the whole window. Nope. This is a damn shame. Hold on, y'all. I'm not doing this one by one. This is too much. Hold on, why is Miss StreamYard not letting me pull up all my tabs? One by one, okay, y'all thumbs up the video, child. All right, Britt Eady. Britt Eady, you guys know, Kenya Moore's favorite fan from Real Housewives of Atlanta, Give Love and Hip Hop Violence, spoke out recently about how multiple loved ones of hers are being diagnosed with cancer, and said that everything is poisoning us. And she is terrified, girl. Okay, she said she got enough foreign shit in her body, honey. She don't need this cancer coming through, girl, attaching itself to the damn BBL or to the goddamn titty meat. She said this on her Instagram stories, praying and what is this? D4VD. Detoxing. I guess the safest place in my home is the sauna. I've literally watched young, healthy people get diagnosed with cancer and watch young, healthy people die suddenly from heart attacks. If you guys are subscribed to the Shade Room and TMZ at this point, they are a goddamn mortuary. Influencers are dying literally every fucking day. 29-year-olds, 21-year-olds, 32-year-olds. We are seeing a uptick in young people just dying, of course, dying alongside everybody else who typically dies, you know, the elderly, the sickly, etc. But there's definitely a uptick in young people full of life with their whole lives ahead of them, just dropping the dead. Okay, Britt Eady is saying, girl, it's too much cancer amidst her, and something's not right in the buttermilk. Well, what's interesting about that is actor Billy Porter also had to recently step down and end his Broadway cabaret run early after a health diagnosis. As that's happening, producer Jazze Pha went live crying about how he's making progress with whatever health issue he's been dealing with, and claims that watermelon has been relieving him. Okay, courtesy of the Jasmine brand, record producer Jazze Pha emotionally urges fans to, quote, find something that works for the betterment of your health. Check out what Jazze Pha had to say. Okay, this does have a sound. Hold on, y'all. I don't know why it's saying no sound when this video has sound. Hold on. Hold on.
I thank you, and I praise you.
Okay, now let's reshare.
Oh man, I appreciate you, God. I appreciate you. Oh, it's been so hard, being so heavy. It's so much to be weighing down on you, man. And when you just find something that works, just find something that works. It don't have to be watermelon. It don't have to be watermelon. Just find something that works for the betterment of your health and do it. And don't stop. Don't stop. It's going to change your mind. It's going to change your body. It's going to change the trajectory of where you can go. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. I just pray for healing for everybody right now. I'm having a time. I've been praising the Lord. I know my neighbors in my condo think I'm crazy because I've just been praising God this morning real hard. This is the tail end of it right here, y'all. Y'all have a great Sunday, but I just want you to change your mind. That's all you got to do. Make up in your mind that you want to do something great for yourself. I got a lot of big old brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, that love to eat all that good old Sunday food. Man, it's killing us. It's not the same like it was when Grandmama and them had it. It's not the same. I can taste it. It's like he put something in my mind and said, do you taste that? What they're putting in the food is killing us. So think about that. Don't think about what I'm about to eat. Think about how it's going to make you feel. Right now, think about it. This ain't no glamorous post. Just God crying out through me. And this is just a piece. Trust me. I get an ugly cry. Like my sister Fantasia, I get an ugly cry. I'm still gonna have fun. Oh, wait! Happy Sunday. I'm gone. I'm out.
Okay, so first of all, I don't know who told Jazze Pha to put that damn 7-day evangelical ass music over this clip. But he did. God forgive him. And for two, I have no idea what in the hell is going on that is resulting in watermelon satisfying him so much. I don't know whether he's trying to lose weight. I don't know whether it's cholesterol, diabetes, or what the situation is, girl. But it's watermelon for Jazze Pha. Here's the thing. about what Jazze Pha had to say. He said, you know, something's different in the food. There's putting different in the food, etc. Yeah, they're definitely putting cocaine in the Coca-Cola. Okay, everything is GMO and fucked up and got all type of weird shit in it, and all these companies are changing their formula, etc. That's also true. But let's also not over romanticize the soul food that grandma ass was cooking from scratch, because there's a reason why grandma ass only got one leg now and missing 4 toes. Okay, because that shit she was cooking up as well, baby. Cooked her goddamn arms right off her goddamn torso, girl, and gave the rest of the goddamn children generational ass diabetes. Okay, so black folk, we you know, have some issues, because first and foremost, you know, you really should be eating according to your blood type. And for 2, soul food has been killing us and giving us generational illnesses and diseases for a very, 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 very long time. You guys know I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes back in 2023. It took me a year and a half to reverse type 2 diabetes on a plant-based diet. During the little hour that I gave myself to self-loathe over my initial diagnosis, I remember thinking how much, you know, my family felt me, because nobody taught me that what we call food could fucking kill you, until it almost killed me. And I was living the vida loca, girl, okay? Just eating all the goddamn crab leg and lobster boils and Taco Tuesdays. You know, I could have at it while still maintaining my beauty, girl. And then all that shit put me on my ass. Okay, so now you can't pay me to go back to any of that Frankenstein ass food. Okay, health is wealth, and there are so many people dealing with so many health issues, from people coming down with cancer. We have an uptick in autism as well. You know, there are things that are just that we as melanated people are more statistically susceptible to, as it relates to health and the connection to what we consume. So black and brown people, we need to keep our head on a fucking swivel. To Jazzy's point, a lot of this is killing us, has been killing us, and the fact that they're doing extra shit with what's on the shelves is only going to escalate a lot of the health issues in America, especially since 17 million Americans will not be with health care by the end of next year due to y'all's favorite president, who is bankrupting and literally genociding the entire fucking country. There's going to be one redeeming quality to what Trump is doing by removing healthcare from so many people, and by raising the price of groceries, is it's going to cause people to actually be very intentional about what they're consuming, since people are going to be very limited. And without the help of the federal government to aid and abet medical insurance, this is going to hopefully cause people to be very intentional about their health, and ultimately living a life that can prevent a lot of the preventive diseases that people are suffering from, such as diabetes, hypertension, etc. While there are hereditary components to some of these illnesses, a lot of these illnesses really are brought on by lifestyle and lifestyle choices. I've already reappropriated my diet. I've already reversed type 2 diabetes for myself. This has changed my life forevermore. I will continue to live a very healthy life and have a very healthy relationship to food. And with everything that's about to come down the pipeline in the country, I really encourage everybody else to really, you know, we're being forced to straighten up. We shouldn't have been forced to straighten up, but sometimes it takes pressure, baby, to bring forth the potential in a diamond. And everything going on administratively, girl, is about to put people in some dire situations. So take care of yourself, y'all. You only have one health, girl. And if you really fuck it up, okay, and I'm talking about the preventive shit, not the shit that, you know, is purely hereditary shit that was going to happen to you regardless of what your choices were. Baby, it's time. It's time. It's time to straighten the fuck up. We're not going to have a lot of help. We're pretty much going to be on our own, and it's going to be every dog and mammal for their goddamn selves. And pretty much you got to count on you going forward. So make whatever changes are necessary and, you know, get ahead of everything that's about to happen, baby, because we're not going to have the resources that we used to have. But that doesn't have to be a super nightmare, even though it is going to be a goddamn nightmare. I also want to say this before we move on, and I'm going to have to be very careful with the way I speak. All this cancer, all this disease, all this violence, all these sudden deaths. I'm going to encourage y'all, for one, to watch the documentary Died Suddenly. You can find it on Rumble for free. Just type in Died Suddenly. Watch it. It'll change your life. I'm also going to advise you all to watch the Netflix documentary, What in the Health. It's going to change your life. Watch it immediately. Watch both of those documentaries, What in the Health and Died Suddenly. I think, yeah, I'll leave it there. I don't want to go no further. I don't need no problems with YouTube. All right. Speaking of y'all's orange Cheeto deviant ass president, guess what? All that kerfuffle and chitter chat and yabba dabba doing about the Epstein files. Well, yes, every House rules Republican present votes to block Epstein Files Transparency Act. No surprise there, right? The vote comes after Trump's personal birthday card to Jeffrey Epstein was released by oversight Democrats, girl. So the Republicans are banding together to stop all of the horrific publicity that will come from the releasing of the Epstein files, as Jeffrey Epstein's personal estate is providing all of their own receipts and data and information to the public and to the media concerning Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump's dynamics. All right.
The question is on the amendment. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed say no. No. In the opinion of the chair, the noes have it. Mr. McGovern requests a roll call. The clerk will call the roll.
Mrs. Fishbach. Mrs. Fishbach, no. Mr. Norman. No. Mr. Norman, no. Mr. Roy. No. Mr. Roy, no. Mrs. Houch. Mr. Langworthy. Mr. Langworthy, no. Mr. Scott. No. Mr. Scott, no. Mr. Griffith. No. Mr. Griffith, no. Mr. Jack. No. Mr. Jack, no. Mr. McGovern.
Aye.
Mr. McGovern, aye. Ms. Scanlon. Ms. Scanlon, aye. Mr. Neguse. Mr. Neguse, aye. Ms. Ledger Fernandez. Ms. Ledger Fernandez, aye. Madam Chair.
No.
Madam Chair, no.
The clerk will report the total.
4 yeas, 8 nays.
The noes have it. The amendment is not agreed to. Are there further amendments or discussion?
Okay, there's that birthday card. Donald, yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey, nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, yes, we do. Come to think of it. Donald, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Okay. Silhouette of a woman. Some people are saying, girl, this is the silhouette of a non-adult. Either way, it's definitely a silhouette of a female. The birthday book is crazy. There are images and birthday cards and memorabilia from other Jeffrey Epstein related associates. There are drawings of him on Epstein Island, of him giving a bunch of balloons to a bunch of underage girls. There's him with naked women. There's all type of highly sexual and suggestive imagery in this birthday card, that in this birthday book, where Donald Trump's personal birthday card was found. Now, mind you, Donald Trump is now claiming that this is not his signature, but anybody who got a stimulus check was able to confirm that this is in fact is Donald Trump's signature. They've also pulled up multiple previous signatures of Donald Trump, and his signature is the same across the board. This is hands down Donald Trump's goddamn signature. The Republicans are going to the extreme to distance Donald Trump from Jeffrey Epstein, peddling all type of misinformation and propaganda, claiming that he was even a goddamn informant for the fucking FBI, which contradicts Donald Trump saying that the entire Jeffrey Epstein files are a hoax, while at the same time running on and during his campaign on the fact that he would release the Epstein files. Well, how the fuck can they be a hoax if you're going to release these files? Now, something that the Republicans are saying has a bit of truth to it, which is, well, hey, if these files were so damning and, you know, Donald Trump is so incriminated in them, why didn't the Dems ever release the Epstein files? Why didn't Joe do it, etc.? And as I told you guys before, the reason why they are not going, the reason why neither side, Dems or Republicans, were interested in publishing the Epstein files is because members of both parties are caught in the act. I'm not saying Joe himself, but Republican politicians and pundits, Republican politicians and pundits. Jeffrey Epstein was in bed with everybody, and he was strategic and intelligent enough to make sure he got in bed with everybody. Epstein made sure he positioned himself as the middle man. He would have never, ever played only one side. He wanted all power in his back pocket. So he aligned with all power and all authorities. So the Epstein files would be a horrific PR nightmare for the Dems if it was fully released, and it would be a horrendous PR nightmare for the Republicans if it were released. And then it would be a horrendous PR nightmare for all of Hollywood, who's all up in between all of this shit. Because we've at least seen the flight log, and everybody is on the Jeffrey Epstein flight log, from Donald Trump to Bill Clinton to Chris Tucker to Naomi Campbell. I mean, the Jeffrey Epstein files would turn the entire goddamn country upside down. So this is why when the Democrats had an opportunity to use the Epstein files to smack the Republicans around, they didn't. And it's why the Republicans also are not going to use the Epstein files to smack the Dems around. And it's because the Epstein files shit on both parties. It shits on both wings of this demon or this democracy. So I always knew those files would never be released, girl. Okay, they would have to literally be leaked. Like Project 2025 was, before we ever see them. But neither side is going to legally release those files. Okay? So, more than likely, those poor women and all those victims who were 14 and 15 and 16 at the time that they accused President Clinton and Donald Trump and Epstein and Miss Maxwell of the things that they have, more than likely will never get real justice. They'd be better off probably going to the most well-trained witch doctors in Africa and putting goddamn curses and cancers and diseases and, you know, fairy tale curses all over those motherfuckers in order to get their lick back, because these people are definitely swallowed up and incubated in a corrupted system that is certainly invested in protecting the living shit out of the brutal truth of it all. So, to hell with the federal government, with the DOJ, with the GOP, and every other motherfucking acronym under the fucking sun. America is facing major judgment. We are now officially under a national fucking curse. We're talking about biblical proportions. America is about to be judged. We are bear witnessing to the collapse of our society. And I'm telling you guys right now, things are going to get much, much, much worse before they ever get better. And it's going to stay like this for quite some motherfucking time. You better get your health together. You better get your spirit together. You better get your mind together. Everything as we know it is changing. Marriages, relationships, friendships, everything and everybody. The world is going to be a shell of itself. Certainly this country is. And to be honest, I probably have spent the past week and a half, 2 weeks really mourning the death of reality as I know it. So I'm grieving the country and preparing for this new wineskin, which is going to be a whole new nightmare. And I'm committing to a personal cleanse from here on out because shit's about to get thick. Shit's about to get thick. Shit's about to get dark, girl. We're about to be under a full lunar and solar eclipse in this country. And even that's an underestimation of what's about to befall us. Fuck Trump. Moving along. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up the video. If you guys appreciate everything the King does, make sure that you guys are thumbing up the video and show some love to that Cash App and to that PayPal, child. All information is in the ticker and on the screen and in the description box below. Roland Ray passed away a few days ago. We didn't get an opportunity to say rest in peace to this social media star and media personality that got on the scene doing an episode of MTV's Punk'd is where we first saw Roland Ray with his high top fade, abusing the hell out of his wheelchair and spitting out of every gap in his mouth, honey. He went on to be a viral sensation and to appear on The Conversation on Zeus with Bobby Lights, who he ultimately became good friends with and became Bobby Lights' sidekick on Bobby Lights' own reality show starring Zeus as well. And Roland Ray mysteriously passed away. His mother released a statement initially on Facebook disclosing that Roland Ray had transitioned. A lot of people didn't even know if this was real initially, if this was fake news, but it was corroborated and Roland Ray has transitioned. Lots of stars have come out to rest in peace. The star from Cardi B to Jocelyn Hernandez to, of course, Bobby Likes and the like. So rest in peace to Roland Ray. Not sure if the details surrounding his death will become known to the public. We know that Roland Ray has had some medical scares in the past. He had caught fire and had faced third-degree burns, etc., had been hospitalized. So not sure what took place, but rest in peace to Roland Ray and sending light and love to his family, child. Telling y'all, people dying left and motherfucking right. But speaking of dying, Russell Wilson is planning on keeping life in the earth through that good old co-creating and reproducing, girl. You know, Russell Wilson thinks that his ass is Adam and thinks that Ciara ass is Eve, girl. Okay? He is literal. Interpreting the scripture where it says, girl, go and multiply and replenish the damn earth, girl. So Russell Wilson, Ciara's husband, is catching major backlash after he showed up to allegedly her Q&A session for her new album when he petitioned the singer to give him his 5th child, who they've already named Cinco, apparently, unless Cinco means 5. I don't know. So check this out. Russell Wilson sparks debate amongst social media users after surprising Ciara with baby number 5 request during a Q&A session for her new album. When is Cinco coming?
Babe, that is such a private conversation. Oh, I mean, Y'all don't be practicing like we're trying to think of Cinco is gonna come when God has Cinco.
When is Cinco coming?
Babe, that is such a private conversation. I mean, y'all don't be practicing like we're trying to think of Cinco is gonna come when God has Cinco.
Okay, so social media and Ciara fans basically react. Okay, one person says, I think y'all are really DTM about Ciara and Russell Wilson. A few days ago, y'all were celebrating their love and how he raised her son as his own, and now they're doomed. Vicious cycle. Another user says Ciara and Russell Wilson want another child. Quote, baby Cinco is a running joke amongst the fans. Trying to negatively spin this shows you're a stranger to being loved properly. He fully supports her career and pushes her to be her best, which she's overstated. Try healing. Now, these two users were responding to all of this. One user says Russell Wilson is Ciara's op, low-key, because why you at her album release party asking for another baby instead of her album? Another user says Russell Wilson doing this repeatedly and publicly to Ciara may be manipulative, but it's to be expected from Christian men like him who want their wives to be barefoot and pregnant until menopause. He was very clear about being hyper-religious early on when they were dating. Now, other users have chimed in and said, girl, that Russell Wilson is insecure, and that's why he's trying to keep Ciara pregnant to ensure that ultimately, you know, she's not desirable by any other man, and it's a way for him to keep his goddamn eye on her, because obviously if she's pregnant, she is at home and resting and has 9 months to quarantine. I'm going to say this about Russell Wilson. You know, Russell Wilson, since he's been in our lives via his relationship to Ciara, he's been a good thing. He's been a pure positive fixture in Ciara's life. He recently seemingly adopted Future's son, and they changed Future's son's last name to Wilson. And, you know, he's had Ciara, you know, all smiles. She's also been actively working, producing music and music videos that are not charting and going anywhere. But shout out to her for providing the content. And she's also been able to show up as a wife and a mother. So I think Russell Wilson asking her this at the Q&A was just Russell Wilson being corny and performative. And I mean corny in a good way. I think Russell Wilson knows that he pretty much is perceived by the general public as somebody who keeps Ciara pregnant, very much so loves his woman. And I think he was just simply playing into that trope and into that social narrative. I don't think there's anything sinister going on here. I don't think Russell Wilson is insecure. I don't think he doesn't trust his wife. I think he just wanted to play into the narratives that are out there playfully in the media about him. So he gave the people what the fuck they wanted, all right? So shout out to Ciara and shout out to Wilson. Look, we're going to need Russell and Ciara populating the earth with Negroes the way that Donald Trump is about to be deporting our asses up out of here. I don't know if you guys recently saw, but Donald Trump is in negotiations with some African countries' dictator about potentially sending American criminals and immigrants over there to the country to be imprisoned. And that dictator is requesting that those immigrants and criminals, well, not have a criminal background. They have to be purely refugees and immigrants. And for two, must be of African descent. Girl, I was shook when I saw that. So while I fully believe, girl, that eventually what privileged people have been saying to black ass people for centuries, which is, girl, go back to your own country, I fully believe that they're going to try to execute that under this administration. And they're already starting with African descent. The refugees, that is, girl, this shit is coming. Black people might be the last to be shipped the hell up out of here, girl, but we're on the list of things that got the motherfucking go. You have to realize that these mad scientists and principalities that are currently running the system, they no longer even need physical slaves. You know why they don't? Because the same Frankenstein monsters like Bill Gates and Elon Musk are already creating artificial intelligence, which is already replacing American workers. AI is already killing the job market. Bill Gates predicted that in 10 years, AI and robotics will be able to do most human jobs just a decade out from now. So no, they don't need human slaves anymore. They don't need humans in the cotton fields anymore. They don't need humans, out there in the farmland anymore. Baby, they're doing away with people. Okay? They're trying to turn the United States into essentially a Jeffrey Epstein luxury island. Only for the wealthy and only for the sick and perverse. Girl, America is being turned into a luxury resort. Only for the fucking elite. And the rest of our ass will be spread across the goddamn diaspora. So for all of y'all thinking that, girl, this is not coming down the pipeline, girl, that they're not coming for black ass people, oh, they're coming for us, girl. They're already starting with refugees in this country who are of African descent. Oh, it's coming. The great erasure is coming, and it's coming, and it's coming. And, the only choice you have is deciding, girl, whether you're going to wait till they kick your ass out and force your ass out, or if you're going to just willfully leave before they get an opportunity to indignantly send you away. Oh, this shit is diabolical, girl. Me and Bub started watching The Handmaid's Tale. We're on season 1, episode 6 or 7. I think Handmaid's Tale is on season 7 now. So everybody kept telling me about this. Like, girl, it's giving Handmaid's Tale, Handmaid's Tale, Handmaid's Tale. We're watching it. Interesting shit. Probably going to pick back up on it tonight, girl. But if y'all haven't checked out Handmaid's Tale, check it out. Moving on. Real Housewives of Potomac star Giselle Bryant and alum Robin Dixon speak on K. Michelle allegedly joining Real Housewives of Atlanta. Quote, Atlanta is running out of goddamn people, child. Woo, now, y'all know Potomac and Atlanta been beefing for a minute, girl. Look like the division is about to continue to be thick between the two brands. Okay, why are we saying no sound?
From Love and Hip Hop on their show.
Okay, you have to clarify that though. Okay, but we're gonna speak to that. But go ahead.
And Married to Medicine has Angel from Basketball Wives on their show. Atlanta has run out of people.
Okay, Angel from Basketball.
She was a nurse. Really pretty girl.
Who is she? Who was the basketball wife she was married to?
Are any of them ever married to a
what we're
basketball
dealing with?
player? I don't know. I just know that she was on Basketball Wives like a number of seasons ago.
Okay.
And it might have been like the LA version.
Is Married to Medicine supposedly, allegedly filming now? Are they filming now?
I guess so. I saw a picture of her filming a confessional for Married to Medicine.
Oh wow. Okay. So are we renting and recycling?
That's what it looks like. So I'm like, out of all the people in Atlanta, now they're like, I really thought the the network or the shows tried to like avoid crossovers from different networks.
True.
But I am like, Atlanta is running out of people. Well, because you're using people from other networks now.
But that's when but 85 it stays on traffic. So they're not running out of people.
Right.
They got plenty of people in Atlanta.
Right. With 6 lanes,
but
12 lanes across.
Yes. I do want to say, and the traffic is traffic morning, noon, and night.
All right. So I have to agree, girl, with Giselle. We discussed some of the potential people who are being considered for Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think it's K. Michelle, there was enough. There was some more individuals who were speculated to be joining, and nobody seemingly felt like a fit. Real Housewives of Atlanta is one of those brands that really kind of like the whole running theme of Housewives have been these ladies who have been in our lives since the inception of Housewives. I think Housewives has just reached its end. Bravo needs to let it go. I don't know why these networks act like there isn't raw talent in the world. I don't know why we keep recycling the same fucking celebrities and pulling people from Love and Hip Hop into Atlanta and from Atlanta into Love and Hip Hop as if there's not an abundance of people who are shining bright and ready to hit the ground and motherfucking running. There is nothing about K. Michelle that has ever given Real Housewives of Atlanta. It honestly feels like Real Housewives of Atlanta would kind of be cheapening their damn brand. K. Michelle is ghetto, loud, and a troll, and out of her goddamn mind. And she belongs and fits exactly where the hell she done been at, which is Love and Hip Hop. Real Housewives of Atlanta is for like the softer, shadier girls, not like there's still a slight classiness that's left on Housewives. I would hope the network would try to hold on to a little bit of that like upper echelonness that Housewives was initially going for, but now they're just like throwing anything into the goddamn pot. And I think Atlanta Housewives is going to go out and go down in goddamn flames, and it's going to be a laughing stock by the time this shit is over with. I don't want to see none of the old girls come back either. Nene can say where the hell she at. Kim can say where the hell she at. Phaedra can definitely say where the hell she at. You know, Phaedra just likes looking good. She don't even have a goddamn personality anymore. She didn't do shit on Married to Medicine, and she ain't gonna do shit on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Those days have long gone from Phaedra. Like most of them, they feel they don't have anything to prove. They're not hungry anymore. And so, you know, that raw entertainment factor is just not there. I just need them to just close shop, bitch. Close shop. I haven't watched Housewives in God knows when. Kenya is not coming back. Nene already said that she has not been in conversations with the network at all. They have not sent her an invitation. And of course, they never will. Nene Leakes really did the most by filing a lawsuit against Bravo, claiming that they were racially discriminating. She now is too much of a liability because she's willing to pull junkie stunts when she doesn't get her way. Bravo knows what Mad Day looks like. In this climate, Viacom and Bravo don't want that type of smoke and reputation. So Nene Leakes kind of ruined it in terms of a comeback. Like, she's cooked. Now, she might be able to work within Viacom for other things. They may allow her to be on red carpets and do her little sideshow shit, but she's done. Housewives is done. I don't want to see no fucking K. Michelle. And I thought it was Housewives of Atlanta. Who the fuck is K. Michelle married to? Does K. Michelle have a husband? Because according to her, I thought that her coochie was still sick from the last nigga she had in it. She said her coochie is in mourning. So where's the wife part of the candidacy? I don't understand. She did. Oh, she's married. Married to who? Wait a minute. Let's do some research. Maybe her man gives Housewives. Let's look here. Hold on. Girl, let me tell you. Y'all can tell, baby, I've been living under a rock. Who in married K. Michelle? She need to be on Married to Medicine, because the only thing that should have married K. Michelle was her meds. K. Michelle married. Oh, girl. Oh, yeah, it's a no for me. I I didn't even know that K. Michelle and her man were already on marriage boot camp, bitch. The marriage is already in trouble. They were on marriage boot camp. How you just got married, girl, and y'all marriage is already on the rocks, and you're already on marriage boot camp. Is this the man? Caston from marriage boot camp? Is this him? Is this who y'all are talking about? Caston? He giving Jim Jones, girl. He still dressed like a lit ass high school senior. Why is he over 40 and dressed like a lit ass high school senior? I don't understand. Because this is the only man that's coming up for her in terms of marriage. I'm assuming this is the man y'all talking about. She probably just wanted to check CTV. But is this who y'all are talking about? Are y'all talking about the man she was on marriage boot camp with back in 2023? Wow. Girl, he looked like a problem. Oh, Bossa. Heavy on the housewife, country crooner K. Michelle reveals she's married. Is this her hidden husband? Soulfully Southern songbird K. Michelle is apparently more of a housewife than some Bravo watchers know. The rumored new Real Housewives of Atlanta recently shocked fans by revealing that she quietly wed her husband, who's out of the spotlight after a decade of dating. Oh. For those who have followed K. Michelle's journey, her romantic life has been very public at times. Known for her powerful vocals, blah, 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 blah. She prepares to release her blah, 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 blah. And K. Michelle recently surprised fans by casually announcing her married status on a live stream as captured by Life Bits and reported to the Shade Room. During the live stream, K. Michelle admitted that it took her husband a decade to finally put a ring on it. A revelation that she said people might want to crack on me and joke about. However, she was quick to take the blame for the delay. She openly admitted that the long engagement was her fault because she wasn't perfect and didn't feel as though she was marriage material. Continuing to keep it real, K. Michelle candidly described her personality and how it played a role in her relationship's timeline. She confessed, quote, "Yeah, I'm more masculine. I think I'm always been a lot for him, but I think I'm a lot for a lot of men. To be in a relationship, break up in that relationship. Remember, we broke up." She asked someone off camera. "I got married a week later to somebody else." Kim Michelle is a hot mess. She broke up with one man and got immediately married to someone else. The singer is keeping the identity of her new husband secret. Great. Okay, keep his ass off Housewives too. But if you can recall, K. Michelle was quietly booed up with Memphis dentist Dr. Caston Sims. Okay, so that's the man I was asking y'all about. But nobody's sure if this is him or someone else. K. Michelle and the good doctor are hometown friends and went public in their relationship in 2016. And while Dr. Sims has been out of the headlines for quite some time, it was reported that he and K. Michelle were expanding their family after years of wanting children. After initially exploring surrogacy, Kay told Essence in 2020 that she would be starting IVF treatment to have twin girls with Sims, who was her fiance at the time. "Yes, I am doing genetic editing, which means I'm able to pick the gender of my children," she said. "I knew that I wanted girls and I knew I wanted twins. I just told my fiance, I said, lookity here, if 3 take well, we got 3 then." K. Michelle also acknowledged that the emotional toll the process took on her. Okay, so who the hell K. Michelle is married to? We don't know. Is it this goddamn doctor she went on marriage to boot camp with, trying to have twin and triplets and shit and quadruplets with? We don't know. Whether it's a new goddamn person, but what we know is that K. Michelle is a hot mess. The girl literally broke up with one mother and got married. Girl, she meant those lyrics when she said, girl, she love them all. And to get over one, she gets under another one. Okay, so girl, at least, we got to give K. Michelle some goddamn credit, baby, for living out those goddamn lyrics, honey. They are her reality. And yet, yes, keep you and your ghetto shit off of Housewives, girl. They have enough of a struggle over there with what they got between Simon and Portia ass and Britt Eady popping bitches with purse-sized guns, child. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone, Michelle. Speaking of safety hazards and public safety concerns. Carisha 19 is back headlining, girl. Okay, Carisha 19 girl says, Beyonce, get out of the way, bitch. Okay, she's going to be Act 3. According to new reports, Carisha 19 cases surge again across the U.S. as vaccine access sparks controversy. Carisha, we're not going to read all of this, but just enough, is making an unwelcome comeback in the United States, with cases and hospitalizations on the rise as the country heads into the fall season. California has already seen hospitalization nearly double, and water marker monitoring confirms that virus levels are climbing across the West, South, and the Southeast. But this time around, the fight against Carisha looks very different. Updated jabs are available, but under new federal policy, only people 65 and older or younger individuals with qualifying health conditions can get them. That restriction put in place by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who recently is going through it in a hearing, girl, has sparked outrage among medical experts and patients alike. Many adults who want the jab can't get it without jumping through hoops like prescription or insurance. Exceptions. The backlash has been swift. The American Academy of Family Physicians joined other medical groups in breaking from federal guidance, recommending that all adults, children, and pregnant women should have access to the jab. Pediatric organizations have also voiced concern, warning that limited access could put more vulnerable groups at risk. I guess we are going to read this whole thing. This is mighty fascinating. Meanwhile, states aren't waiting for Washington to act. California, Oregon, and Washington are exploring regional jab guidance to ensure broader access. Some local governments are also setting up independent distribution channels, effectively creating a patchwork of rules across the country. On top of that, the federal shakeup has left the CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunizations dissolved and replaced by jab skeptics. Public health experts warn this is eroding trust at a critical moment, with flu and RSV season just around the goddamn corner. Adding to the complexity, a new Carisha variant known as what, bitch? The XFG or Stratus is spreading quickly. Early data shows the whole country gonna have a runny ass and a runny nose, bitch. You know, it's just so fascinating to me to live in an era where it's like anything that can happen is happening. You know, one of those real interesting synchronistic eras where, you know, like what could go wrong does in fact go fucking wrong. I have continued to wear my mask, even though they don't effectively work, apparently, but they create a placebo effect for me. Okay. If I believe that it works, and therefore it does. Okay. As it is above, so it is below, and a man is what he thinketh. So I think my masks work. Therefore, guess what? I have been able to be Carisha 19 free. I'm also not getting the jab. I will never get the jab. And they're making it complicated for people to get the jab, which, I mean, I don't even think is a goddamn bad thing at this point, because that has its own set of issues. So I'm going to tell you guys to just do what y'all got to do, and everybody's going to do something differently. But yes, we have new variants, and school season is back in, and everybody's hacking and coughing, and this is flu season anyway, so everybody's lungs are wide open, and snot is everywhere, and saliva is everywhere, and, you know, the country is just dirty and fucking filthy. Okay, are we living inside of Ciara, for God's sakes? Stay prayed up. Last but not goddamn least, this rapper who I've never goddamn heard of apparently is cooperating with an official investigation because a random ass dead body was found in his car, you guys. Just check this shit out.
Inside a car at a Hollywood toll lot today. There's no immediate information about the identity of the person found, but Eyewitness News has learned the 2023 Tesla is registered in Hempstead, Texas to multi-platinum artist and musician David Anthony Burke, known professionally as David. Grim discovery made after nearby residents complained about a foul odor. Police say the impounded car has been at the property on North Mansfield Avenue for a couple of days. They say the body had been placed inside a bag. We've reached out to David's representatives and are still waiting for a response.
Yeah.
Body was found inside a car at a Hollywood toll lot today. There's no immediate information about the identity of the person found, but Eyewitness News has learned the 2023 Tesla is registered in Hempstead, Texas to multi-platinum artist and musician David Anthony Burke, known professionally as David. Grim discovery made after nearby residents complained about a foul odor. Police say the impounded car has been at the property on North Mansfield Avenue for a couple of days. They say the body had been placed inside a bag. We've reached out to David's representatives and are still waiting for a response. Body was found in.
Wow. Okay. So apparently he's big on TikTok, girl. Isn't it interesting how people can be multi-platinum and have millions of followers and you still never heard of these motherfucking people and don't know how and who and what the hell they in fact are, girl? Well, this big star girl is apparently cooperating with investigators regarding a goddamn dead body that was rotting away in a car registered to him that was sitting in the goddamn pound. Now, a lot of people are saying that they believe that David is innocent because he's been on the road, he's been on tour, there's no way he could really have anything directly to do with this, etc. Child, who knows? I'm just trying to figure out, you know what? I'm not trying to figure it out. Pray for Bobblehead Girl. This is the news, bitch. Life is lifing. The world is fucking crazy. Y'all, pray. Pray for everything and pray for everybody. And don't forget to pray for yourselves, baby. Okay, that's if you don't get dementia first, bitch. Thumbs up the video. Subscribe, share. If you enjoyed yourself, y'all already know what to do, baby. Show some love to them up. Cash App, PayPal. Thumbs up the video. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll get into more news that your ass can't use. And yes, I am still putting together that political panel. So be looking for that. I love you all. And tell a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. We're also going to be expanding the brand and colonizing TikTok and Rumble as well. So be looking out for updates around all of that. And I will see you guys later. Peace.